Good evening, all you wonderful people. I exist. I'm here. It's time to play some games. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you had a good Monday. Hope you're ready to do more Monster Train, since that's what we're doing. Also, it is uncomfortably warm in here. I had a fan on until just a moment ago, at least, which definitely helped, but God, it is weirdly stifling, even at this late of night. Anyways, complaints aside, what are we playing? Someday I will finish off the Awoken Pyreborn combo. How you doing, Fury? How you doing, Glacier? I mean, let's do Awoken, probably Awoken Pyreborn, and suck it up. Someday I'll finish properly. I just need to stop being bad with it, is ultimately the answer. Alright. Let's do Wilden 10, I guess. Do the fire starters. Here we are. Hello, may I have a double order of jank this morning? How you doing, Squeak? Saw something interesting in Seattle today. A dude riding a penny farthing. I have also seen that. Not in Seattle, but in greater Seattle area. But yeah, no, not a common sight, but if you're going to see it anywhere, Seattle seems like the place to see it. Yeah, it's hot up here too, though not saying much since we're pretty much like only 300, 400 miles apart. Yeah. Pyre of Entropy makes me cry, especially in a world where we have root seeds, which makes them even worse since it nullifies like the only thing they got going for them. It's also a little frustrating with like Magma Cultist, since drawing a bunch of cards is good for an incant deck, but drawing a bunch of blights is not. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Okay. Don't think we want Cleansing Water. Shadow Sheath is not bad, kind of. Good luck tonight, Sal. Hope you had a good weekend. It was okay. I appreciate you asking. Thanks for the kind words. Also, I think it's because of wildfires, but it smells like a campfire from outside, and it is driving me crazy. It's been like this all day. Anyways, so here's the deal. Shadow Sheath, as evidenced like last week, is good. Especially if we end up doing like a sweep unit, of which there are several sweep units available to us. Including Wildenton himself could do that. I don't know that I really want to go that route, though. Sounds terrible. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Shadow Sheath really, like, pigeonholes us. It makes it much harder to use Wilden 10 unless I, like, very specifically go, like, Strangler and Predator, which is possible. And I could go, like, Predator 2 and have a multi-strike sweep unit. Every time I take Shadow Sheath, I hate it. It's very situational. It can be very good, but if you take it on a whim or without, like, the right deck, it just makes things worse. And on that note, I think we want to avoid it. The only reason it is appealing is because, like, we are in a clan combo that has terrible defense, and stealth is very good. It also helps pretty notably into Savagery Seraph, and that is appealing. But it makes it way harder to use, like, Magma Cultist or a bunch of other things. I'm gonna just take Cleansing Water, I guess, though there was a very reasonable world for that. Thorn Lord is okay right now. But I think we're going to go Strangler, even though Strangler causes me great grief and despair. Okay. So, we're going to do these here, and then you're going to go there. The problem is that Strangler is a whole big bunch of problems. And that's just how life is. Unfortunately, I really wish I had the Restoration Detonation this turn instead of last turn. Also, the minus Ember is really fucking with us. Also, I 100% should have done the Root Seeds on Wilden 10, and I didn't for some reason. Yeah, see, this is the problem with Strangler, is it's very easy to lead to a situation where you just kind of get fucked. Because, like, I would be plenty happy to just let these units pass me by for the most part. Like, I'm okay with taking some pyre damage. I'm much happier to do that than to just have the enemies, like, form a blockade. Is this a Legendary Circle 1 loss? No. We definitely had it because we put a fair chunk of pyre gel on him. So, like, I knew it was going to work. We did take a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. I'm going to take the Steel Enhancer. I'm going to, I guess, Golden Touch. What we really want is, like, Flicker and other things. I mean, the Flicker maybe doesn't matter depending on what we get. I think we might go here. I think we are going here. Okay, Dualism is pretty solid. By the way, since I'm not in the Monster Train 2 Discord, have they announced something about the next update yet? Not anything other than what is on the roadmap. Unless they announced something the last couple days, because I've been too busy to, like, hang out in the Discord at all, even though I normally spend a lot of time there. But no, everything that's announced to my knowledge is what's on the update, or on the roadmap. Yeah, it makes sense. Been kind of waiting for it, chilling at almost 90 of 180 until then. Yeah. Makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I forget when they said the update was coming, but it's probably not too far off, I would imagine. Okay. Really need Wilden 10 to be stronger than he is. Here we go. I think it was one every quarter, next one being quarter 3, so basically a month and a half. Yeah. It makes sense. Almost have the kill, but not quite. Also, I don't think the Golden Touch is going to do a whole ton for me. We got one thing for it, but that's it. Well, so be it. Yeah, we didn't get a whole ton of Pyre Gel on him, unfortunately. I got a little bit, but not a ton. Okay, by doing this, you do survive a hit you otherwise wouldn't survive, which is appealing. I think we need to play out the Spear Steward rather than do the Root Seeds. And sadly, we're not playing the Calcified Ember. Also just generally getting kind of low on HP. Because my deck is bad. as evidence. Like, this is the problem with taking Strangler early, is that I just, like, don't have the damage output to, like, do anything. Restoration Detonation Gaming. I really hate Restoration Detonation. I will take a Flicker, though there's a chance we end up not caring about it. And we're gonna go here, I guess. Mostly because I want the healing, and because I don't really have anything to do at the Merchant of Steel. Obviously, like, we might get a good unit there. I don't know, whatever, here we are. Zone of Silence is not bad. It's a bit much, though. Kind of want the Soul Smelter, but with my current situation, it's unlikely that, like, our unit survives, and therefore the Celebrate doesn't mean anything. In the case where you literally only have, like, one egg generation in a circle, what do you tend to do with it? So, like, I normally wouldn't cash out until usually about rank 3 or 4, where you can start getting a minor Pyreborn artifact. Honestly, I always think that it starts at 4, and it definitely starts at 3. But as soon as you get, like, a minor Pyreborn artifact, it's generally worth it. But if you're only generating that small amount of Horde, like, I just mostly wouldn't worry about it too much. Like, you can build a heavier into it later if you want, and if it seems practical, but not every run needs to be Horde-based. But anyways, the minor pool is generally quite good, and there's a lot of useful things you can get, so just cashing out as soon as you can get one is usually worth it. Yeah. Alternatively, there have been a couple times where I've even cashed out for like 10 or just 25 gold just because it hit a break point, allowing me to afford something important. Yeah, sometimes I think maybe I would get something later, but at the same time, it's not meant for every run, so I get stuck. Yeah, you don't have to build into it every time. It is a powerful mechanic, but you are trading a lot of like early game strength for late game strength, and that's not always what you want to do. Anyways, I'm debating taking the Zone of Silence. I think we probably do want it. It's expensive for me is the only big problem. I don't think we want the Soul Smelter. Sacrificial Chamber is a kind of... And Overgrowth Carapace is cute, but I don't think I'm really in the right situation to use it. God damn it. I did it to myself. God. I normally try to be so careful about doing this in the right order for, like, this exact reason. Unfortunately, especially with Pyre of Entropy, I cannot take the reduced Pyre health to 1. So we're just going to take the full heal. Feels real bad. Oh well, it's fine. It at least helps us get out of the early game. Whatever. Mistakes were made. We're making this deployable. It does cost a lot of Ember, and I don't know how much it's actually going to help at the moment, but that is what we're doing. Yeah. We also have Pyre Hunters. Like, it would have been a little harder with Pyre Hunter regardless, but, like, we would have healed a decent chunk, and that's what we cared about. I quite like the Boiler on Bloodington because of so much draw. Hard to kill currently, though. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have... I'm going to be taking Ember mostly anyways, and so taking... Essentially just getting more Ember is not really going to help me. And yes, I am struggling to kill things to some degree. And overall, getting the Zone of Silence is much more helpful in the long run. Yeah, I think we just forgoed the Golden Touch, even though that makes me sad. I really need to draw into Restoration Detonation here. Among other things. Okay. But again, we're not really in any shape to kill Archeon is the big problem. Like, I don't build up strength at all. I think we want the extra draw so we have a better chance of drawing into the Restoration Detonations again. As much as I'd like to put more Fire Gel on Archeon and just kind of proc his current Fire Gel, that would be nice, but it's so important that I heal. But at least after this fight, I can get some... and get more Ember, which is going to help. Okay, we're at least doing a chunk of damage, and he has 40 Pyre Gel on, which is not a small amount. So, like, even just hitting him with, like, Fire Starters will do a lot of work. Unfortunately, he rips through these guys without giving them a chance. Yeah, really need to have drawn in reverse order. We do survive. We do take a chunk of damage, unfortunately. Yeah, because it goes down to 6. I lost so much health on that fight. Oof. That was a real bad fucking fight for us. Spreading Spores is a no. Awoken's Rail Spike is kind of... like, it is worse for us because our hand is going to be full from the get-go, which means that it's harder to get to a situation where we can actually draw the full amount from this. Tome of Contracts is great, but not really applicable to our current needs. Yeah, we don't get a dupe for a long time, so I will just take you. After the run, or whenever you can you show me your unmastered cards, please? Yeah, remind me after the run, and I'll do that happily. They're definitely, like, skewed to some degree because of the way that I play. I mean, in a couple ways, but namely in that I tend not to pick up cards just to master them. I tend to pick them up only if they're relevant to the run. Because I figure I'm going to play so much of this game anyways that I will eventually have a point to take each card, basically. Okay, please. Yeah, Predator is what we wanted. Alright, well, remove Consume it is, I guess. Okay, so -2 goes there. And then Holdover, I think, goes on the Steel Enhancer now. It is still pretty slow scaling, but it does help. I would have taken the Magic Power as well for the Restoration Detonation if I could, but I can't, so here we are. Okay, and we do have enough for the Zone of Silence, which is important now. I can't play out the Magma Cultist, but so be it. But they have, you know, Corruption guys, and I really don't want to get corrupted, so here we are. Because if I get corrupted, just things go way worse for us. Yeah, I kind of tend to pick whatever close to the end and then have them act like an extra dead weight. I mean, that's what most people do, but I try to avoid doing that. Okay. Anyways, Wildenton having quick is a hefty improvement for us. We get to kill a lot of enemies before they can attack, and we make better use of the Pyro we're generating. So, like, all that is heavily in our favor now. And we do generate a lot of Pyro now. If we can start... I should have done that in a different order, but whatever. Because we definitely want to generate the Pyro on them before we proc the damage. It was by far the better choice. Unfortunately, I'm constantly taking damage from Vengeful Shards, but whatever. In the grand scheme of things, hopefully we can get... whatever I was trying to say. Yeah, we don't quite kill you. I tried. It would be nice to get Pyro Bellows, whatever it's called. Okay, we can at least get one more horde, which I appreciate. Wrong order, but it doesn't really affect the situation. The problem is we're still being bodied by Corrin. Yo, Restoration killed a guy. Yeah, and honestly didn't really want it to. Yeah. Unhelpful. I'm not going to play the Steel Enhancer because we actually don't want to. Unfucking helpful. Alright, do I survive? I'm pretty sure I don't. Because I need to do so much damage to survive that. I mean, I think like, there's one thing I can do differently. But I don't know if it's enough to matter. But that is to focus purely on buffing Wildenton instead of the backliner, which maybe is better. I don't know. I was like, why are you not taking damage? Forgot that we had cleansing water and it removed his spikes. Interesting. Cute, I suppose. I suppose that probably should have gone on the Magma Cultist. But like, we need to be using the Steel Enhancer on Wildenton so he can have a little bit more HP and can survive Corrin a bit longer. Or maybe need to put the Magma Cultist in front. I think we probably don't want to do that though. Again, definitely doing this in the wrong order, which is unfortunate. Again, slightly wrong ordering, but whatever. Life is pain. Oh, slightly wrong ordering here. I don't think it's going to make any meaningful difference, but technically I should be playing out the non-damage spells first, and for some reason I didn't think about doing that with the Root Seeds. Even though it is 100% the better play. If only we had, like, Gel Transfuser, so we could transfer Pyre Gel from one unit to another. That'd be nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, extras of those don't fucking help. Because Restoration Detonation is a bad card. I mean, I have won this no matter what, although it's still going to hurt me because my deck is just not there yet. Also, sadly, didn't get the Horde up to 3. Was hoping to at least get to 3. Didn't. I sort of could have. I didn't. Whatever. I mean, Restoring Retreat is good. Yeah, I'll take it, I guess. Especially at 1 cost, it's fairly decent. Fanning the Flame is awkward. Just not as good as you want it to be. What's your opinion on spikes in this game? I feel it's much weaker and harder to use, sadly. I mean, it was never particularly strong in Monster Train 1. I do think it is on the weaker side of things in Monster Train 2. It can be okay if you're treating it as just, like, a tool in your kit. But it's harder to make a deck that, like, heavily relies on spikes. For a lot of reasons, but particularly with enemies that are like the 500 HP heavies. Like, I do kind of think that they should lower their stats and like spread them out a bit more across the wave so that things like a spike build are more relevant. Or make those units a lot rarer so that they're like only in like the Savagery Seraph fight and not in multiple other fights. Because basically, as is, you essentially always have to account for having, like, double 500 HP heavies. And that's hard to deal with. But also, like, the deformed duos, the ones that reanimate, also make spikes worse. Like, it's... I don't know. There's a lot of things that are not in Spike's favor. Does plus magic power buff the Slay trigger on Fanning the Flame? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, are you saying if you give it the plus 10 magic power, does its Slay increase by 13 instead of 3? If that's your question, no. It's always an increase of 3. I guess we'll take Fanning the Flame. We're probably going to be disappointed in it, but we'll take it. I mean, I probably want to go here. Yeah, I guess we'll go here, because I do have the second unupgraded Cultist. That was the question, too bad. Yeah, I mean, it would be shenanigans if it did affect it, but no. It does not. Multi-strike is sort of okay. Sparkflint Catalyst is real good. Crown of the Eternal also honestly not bad here, but we are going to take this. God, this is really not what I want, but I will take it. And I'm going to do that, even though, again, I'm not, like, wild about it. Oh God's entropy awoken Pyreborn, my condolences. It has been somewhat painful. And I guess we'll get rid of some Spear Stewards to start. They've been useful up till now, but like I gotta transition off of them. The Mind Spire, Hertz, or Ember, you know what I meant. But I at least have enough that I can play out all of those on turn 1. I may as well do that. It's like vaguely helpful, even if it's not my favorite. I did kind of forget that I wanted to be able to Restoring Retreat units down here, but I didn't. And then I'm still just like constantly bleeding out from the stupid like blights. It's just not great. Oh god, I wish I had like Gel Transfuser. Alright, we're gonna try to keep Wildington healthy and just do what we can to make ourselves stronger. Alright, we at least get through without taking any damage for once. Though, unsurprisingly, that was not built to last. Yeah, that's the problem. Again, if I had like any semblance of defense, this would go a lot better. But as is, life is pain. It's a bad world when you're even gonna die to Quoto. I definitely could have done this better had I remembered about the Restoring Retreat. We'll try it one more time. Again, my deck is not good, but hey. Okay. Not perfect, but it's something. Could also just not play the Zone of Silence, but I think it's still helpful to have. Partly so I don't have to draw it later. Set up on higher floor. I mean, honestly, I probably should. I don't actually know why I'm setting up down below. The only, like, meaningful reason so I can Restoring Retreat him, but that's not, like, a big deal. But you're right that I probably would benefit from just more time to set up. Okay. Okay, not the best draw. I mean, it worked out okay, but I'm still a far ways off from killing Quoto. Well, it would have been nice to have drawn that earlier. So you'd have to get to at least 39 for you to take 2 hits. Which seems unlikely. Alright, let's decide to Quoto. This is a not great run. Here we are. The struggle's real. We almost get past him. Maybe I could do it. I don't know. We're failing. Because I just, for some reason, cannot beat this clan combo. Oh, I don't feel like I had a difficult time when doing it with Pyreborn. At least I'm pretty sure we did it with Pyreborn, right? We've at least done it with Phoenix, and I don't recall it being a big issue. Whatever. I need to change how I'm playing. That's ultimately the answer. Here we are. I know I say that literally every time, and then I still lose with it. Whatever. So be it. Regardless, let's do... Oh, yeah, you want to see the unmastered cards. Unmastered. So, we have Wax Cap, which is just kind of a weird unit. It would be a lot better if a Spore Launcher were a smaller unit, but for some reason, it is 3 capacity instead of 2, where it really should be. Pox is bad. Reforming Ooze is good, but I just haven't had a good time to use it yet. Imp in a Box, I don't tend to use very often, but it's fine. Rage Serum's bad. Deranged Brood is good, just haven't had a chance for it. Impalade I don't love. But in general, I tend not to build heavily into, like, damage spells. Battering Ram is a bit weird. I really wish that it didn't target. So, I wish that Battering Ram did one of 2 things differently. I wish that it either didn't hit the front unit, or, and more importantly, I think I'd prefer this one, I wish that its scaling was not based on units on the current floor, but on the entire train. So you could actually use Battering Ram on any floor to good effect. That would make it a lot more meaningful of a card. But it doesn't, so here we are. I feel like Pox should just be 1. That's an Inferno Room you have to waste a card on. I mean, like, it can do a lot of damage. It's just that, like, the biggest thing for me is that if it weren't Consume, I would actually take it on a semi-regular basis. Battering Ram should have Trample. I mean, yes, except that Trample doesn't really work with spells, but yes, that would also be cute. They'd probably have to lower its scaling amount if that were the case, but yeah, the biggest thing for me is just that, like, Pox is weird in that it's a consume card, and it doesn't really feel like it should be a consume card. And it's just not great having to pay that tax. And, like, the only benefit of it being a consume card is that it can proc edge synergies in the clan. But most of the edge synergies require to be cast on a floor where you have units. And you don't want to do that with Pox. Like, just not helpful. So, well, yeah, it's same floor, but there are also things like Verdant Cycle, first time each turn in a spell card with Consume is played, draw 1. And, like, that does not require it to be on the same floor. But for use with anything else, yeah, basically. But anyway, so, like, there's a lot of Monster Train 1 cards we haven't mastered yet. A lot of, like, rare units I haven't done. But also things like Edge Prior is just bad. Same with Animus of Speed. I still hate Pyrogrow. Really wish that it would be changed to something better. Shadow Siege angers me. Like, it wasn't a good unit in Monster Train 1, it's a worse unit in Monster Train 2. Like, yes, you can play it out more easily with deployment phase, but it also, like, doesn't do anything. So, I don't know. Here we are. I have a kind of a weird smattering of things. Mostly Monster Train 1 cards are unmastered. Steel Singer. Steel Singer's bad. Like, it's an okay idea, but it just has such heavy investment costs that, like, it needs to have way higher payoff for what it's gonna do. Also, what's the card you've never seen? Great question. I think it's a Remnant card. No. Is that Clanless? Or is it just not showing up under Unmastered? Oh, no. It's a Hellhorn card. Great question. I know we figured this out. I think it's Apex Imp. Yeah, it's Apex Imp. Just hasn't shown up yet, that's all. Anyways, I still need to actually pick a clan combo. I think I said one and then didn't do it, but probably not. Let's do... I think Rector and Hellhorns? Or maybe Fade and Underlegion. Let's do Fade Underlegion. Though I'm not sure what I'm actually going to do with this. I might take the Sport Touch. I don't think Sport Touch is like a great starter, but again, I do really value the ability to kill off like collectors and some of the backliners and all that. I'd like to see Umbra Banish if you don't mind. Yeah, I totally didn't see it until after I'd already selected, but if you remind me, I will do that next. Mold Braces is fine. I'm definitely gonna take Memorial Fund though. It was last second. Yeah, fair enough. So we're not gonna do Little Icarus because it doesn't really work currently in the way that it's supposed to, and that makes it harder to run. And it mostly just angers me. Also, this is not a great clan combo for it. Kind of. The one good thing in this clan combo for it is Loam Coat. But just because it gives a good chunk of HP, and it gives a bit of survivability, and it propagates any other, like, regen and, like, spikes, it's just okay. Anyways, so Fade is gonna go there. Then we'll put you guys there and there. Unhelpful. We are going to leave those unplayed, because technically they're useful with the Moral Mistress. Also, we do have Herzl's Horde. I didn't comment on it, but it is one of my favorite fires. Yeah, I guess I'll put you there. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't matter. We get a little bit more gold from our dude dying. I love Hate this Pyre, because I play the Blights and get mad immediately after. You're probably thinking of the wrong Pyre. This is Herzl's Horde, the one that gives you extra deployment number. Not Fierce Greed, the one that gives you gold for taking damage. Like, I will say, yes, I also quite like Fierce Greed. It's also quite good. But yeah, not the one that I had in mind. Well, unfortunately, we can't extract any more extra gold. We still got a chunk of gold from the Memorial Fund. I wasn't really tracking how much. It was a decent amount, though. Not a bad selection. I didn't even look at which bosses we're up against. Dripfall is obviously very good. Resin removal is solid. Might take the Dripfall. Purifying Cleanse also obviously pretty decent, but... Which second boss is this? That's Spike's Kale. It's Pyre Hunter, Archeon, Spike's Kale, and Savagery Seraph. Anyways, I think I take the Dripfall. Resin removal is useful too, but it's not really useful at the moment. Whereas Dripfall definitely is. I mean, I don't dislike Gooey Flask. Thanks, you're welcome, friend. Loam Coat is also solid, though. But I think we're going to take Gooey Flask. Okay. I tend to forget, does Burnout propagate? Yes, because it was changed to be a buff in Monster Train 2, whereas it was not a buff in Monster Train 1. Probably because Monster Train 1 had Chased Seraph, which halved your buffs, and that would have felt really bad for decks relying on Burnout. Also, they didn't have anything like Propagate that really mattered for it being a buff or not. I think we're taking the Spore Launcher here basically just for the stats. And because maybe we pivot to using it later. Not, like, wild about this, but we are going to make it smaller. That's fine. I don't really care about the multi-strike. The regen's a maybe, even though I normally disdain it quite a bit. I think I'm not going to worry about that, though. We're going to do this. Okay, might take damage from the invasion. Also, I'll be honest, I already forgot that we have Herzl's Horde, which makes all of this much more palatable. Okay, so we're gonna move you there just so you take a little less damage. I suppose I could have dazed you so that I wouldn't get a Scourge card, but whatever. Okay, you're definitely going here so that we can proc the rally. It's almost like I had sort of planned this out. Yeah, so look at this go. Not that we're in, like, good shape, mind you, but, like, we're getting there. Yeah, so you're gonna die, but so be it. Unfortunately, now he's got a damage shield, which kind of fucks with Fade. And by kind of, I mean heavily fucks with Fade. But, so be it. Yeah, it's not good, but I think we still win. It would have been nice to... Yeah, this is real bad. Especially because it is Pyre Hunter. My deck does have problems. We're definitely going to take Spawning Pods here. Although Loam Coat also good. We're going to go here, much as I don't want to, but it is useful in a number of ways. Might take that Mitosis Cap. Trying to remember what all are possible here. So it's Hellhorns. Alloy the Ancient is okay. Pyreborn doesn't really matter to me, other than maybe like Pyroclasm. And then this doesn't matter to me, like, at all. No, we'll skip those. I had a run recently that was basically mirror every floor with Legion Wax. Quite fun, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of fun things like that you can do. Okay, I'll take the Mitosis Cap. Do I want Spell Sanctum? Kind of. That was a good question. I think the answer is mostly no. Obviously, I could also do like Mushy Room, which is not bad. Okay, I will take this. And we'll make it deployable, which doesn't cost us a whole ton. And then we're going to get rid of that, I guess. And then we're maybe going to start pivoting our deck. We'll figure it out soon. And yes, we're sort of sacrificing her by putting her in front. It's okay. There are good reasons for it. Already forgot that we had Spell Sanctum, and so these things cost 0 on this floor. That's nice. It means I can play out the Vengeful Shard and not take damage while still getting rid of the backliners. Okay. We're gonna do that. And this way we get a bunch of decay on him, thanks to the Moral Mistress. Not an insane amount, but a bunch. And we don't take any pyre damage, which is appreciated. Okay, don't actually have any dead units yet. Other than Fade, who, you know, already comes back all the time. Whatever, we'll just give you a little bit more damage. And I do start taking some damage, but it's fine. I do want to get my Mitosis Cap. Fade doesn't actually die this way, which is a bit of a problem, but yeah, kind of a mistake. Now that you're quite close to all combo wins, what would you say is your favorite clan now? Give me a moment. Okay, he does survive, which is exactly what we wanted. And we even get a little bit more cash from him burning out. Anyways, favorite clan is probably still Under Legion. I mean, Wormkin, if when it's brought back, will probably surpass it, because I just really like Wormkin. Though it does need a number of adjustments for Monster Train 2. I'm still a little annoyed at the Monster Train 1 clans not getting as many updates as they should for Monster Train 2. But even saying that, I do like Remnant quite a bit. But yeah, Under Legion's probably my favorite clan. So I do like the Unearthed Treasure. And I'm pretty sure I'm taking that. Though if that's the case, I might want to pivot back towards using Moral Mistress, because I was originally planning on kind of taking, like, going with her, which is probably why we picked up the extra Hallowed Drippings, even though we're not really using Burnout, just because it was another consume card. And this does work very well with, like, Gooey Flask and Spawning Pods. Sacrificial Resurrection technically also can power Moral Mistress, but god do I hate Sacrificial Resurrection. It's just a card that really annoys me. If it allowed you to pick which cards to consume, which, like, if this were Magic, that's what it would let you do, is, like, pick any number of cards in your hand to discard, remove from the game, whatever, and do a thing. But as is, the fact that you have to consume your entire hand really frustrates me. Probably because, like, what I want out of Sacrificial Resurrection is I want to be able to actually, like, use the draft that it generates. But that's not really how the card gets used, because the draft immediately dies when you play it out, basically all the time. So it ends up being a awkward way to get rid of cards from your deck temporarily. I quite like Sacrificial Resurrection just to dodge blights. Yeah, like, it's sort of okay and sort of better in Monster Train 2 than Monster Train 1, but it just feels like such a clunky, clumsy card. And again, if it's going to generate the draft, make the draft, like, actually usable. But that's not really why it exists, so it's weird that the draft buff disappears on death. I think that is a bug. I could be wrong, but I think that's just a bug. We are not taking these. Though, like, we could sort of get by with Wickless Tycoon or the Paraffin Thug. I feel like it should be +1 burnout per card too. That would be fun. Yeah, that would make it more usable. I would happily have that be the case. Or again, just let you choose which cards in hand to consume. Because then you could, you know, have Permafrost on it, and then use it when you have something like Purifying Cleanse or Wicklash or Hallowed Drippings in your hand, so that you can make a draft, play the draft, and then you can, like, give Burnout to the draft to keep it alive. But as is, it's just frustrating. Anyways, we're taking draw. This is partly why we took the Sanctum. The healing is not unwelcome, but we're going to go here, look for dualism mainly. Okay. Well, Turn of Flame 2 it is. Though you're not going to be the major part of our deck. We're going to do that. I forgot that I have 2 of you already. I should have done the large stone, probably. Well, I wanted to hold on to the gold in case I saw dualism, but didn't end up seeing dualism. Any wins yet? Not tonight yet. We've only done 1 run before this, so, like, no great surprise. I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna get rid of some stuff. Well, get rid of a thing, I guess. Heaven Seal's not great for us, but what is life without taking every trial? Admittedly, it is actually quite bad for us. But, hey. That's true too. It would be cool if you could save a card in some way so you can help your draft. Right now it basically needs exactly the one lady that gives burnout and takes damage. Yeah, it's just awkward. Don't love it. I definitely should have put Decay on the backliner there. And or I should not have taken the trial. Like, let's be very clear about this, but. Okay, that's why we have the Spore Launcher situation. Yes, he is going to heal, but it's still useful to put the Decay on him, kind of. It kind of isn't, because he has... because he has Titan skin on him. Unfortunately, I can't get that collector no matter what I do. Which is unfortunate. Well, I think he doesn't kill me. It's gonna hurt quite badly, though. Yeah, that's so much damage. Really could have used you before Dripfall. Now we have, like, no HP in a very sad and upsetting way. Okay, so you do still have... You don't have enough to kill Fade this way, so we're actually going to put her in back now. Okay. Kind of an issue. Yeah, this part of the issue is, like, I didn't have any way to rally this turn. And had I gotten Fade killed the last turn, I could have played Fade this turn to at least help with the rally. That's fine. Yes, we don't proc the Mitosis Cap. No, I'm not that concerned. Rip? No, definitely not. Especially because we have Endless Fade, who just was easily going to murder Corrin from that HP. Oh, the boss doesn't have heal, or doesn't heal. Yeah, I mean, even if Corrin did, it wouldn't have mattered to us. I'm gonna weirdly speculatively take Memories of the Melted, even though it's mostly just bad for us. Do I want Wax Cap? I think the answer is no, but it's kind of actually useful for me. Maybe I want Wax Cap? Dig Deep is also good, though. I'm gonna take Wax Cap, though. There's a good chance it ends up being what we in the biz generously call pretty worthless. We very much want Endless and Burnout. Come on, give me Endless and Dualism. Not at all helpful. Not really helpful. I feel I always find Memento Mori really cool, but even a pretty good death run, it only does like 150 damage or something. Yeah, it's bad. 100% it needs to either do dramatically higher scaling, or it needs to cost less, or some combination of those, or it needs to let you target a unit. Actually, does it let you target, or is it just the front one? Am I crazy? Yeah, front enemy unit. Needs to be able to target, or it needs to scale permanently across the run. So it's based on every unit that's died across the run, not just units that have died in the battle. Because, like, you spend so much of the battle powering it up, and even then, it's pretty underwhelming. I like the permascale idea. Could kill a 500 dude and would reward a risky draft. Yeah. I also like it for that reason. But we'll see if they ever do something like that. But as is, it's definitely one of those cards that, like... And to be clear, I have spent years talking about the Monster Train 1 card pool. And, you know, I largely think that the Monster Train 1 card pool ranges from good to great. Like, there's very few, like, truly bad cards that, like, lack a purpose in Monster Train 1. I think that number has increased a little bit going into Monster Train 2, where some things that worked okay in Monster Train 1 don't serve as well of a purpose in Monster Train 2. But, like, some of those just need number tweaks. But, like, with the new game, this is the time to revisit the cards and make the less exciting or truly bad cards into good cards. But we'll see if they do. Especially now with 2 times 500 HP units in single wave, which would have been absurd in Monster Train 1. Yeah, for sure. Like, Memento Mori just doesn't help there. To a similar degree, I keep wanting to say Frenzied Swarm, and I know that's the wrong name. What am I thinking of? Fatal Melting. Fatal Melting also suffers similarly. It at least does sweeping damage, so it can be used to kill backliners, but it's another card that suffers a pretty hefty amount with the removal of the plus 30 upgrade. Because it does no base damage, and so you need to get units dying for it to do anything, or you can put on, like, you know, plus 10 magic power, and that's not very impressive. Obviously, if you're like Luna, then it does decent damage with Conduit, but it should be a decent card in its own clan. And currently, doesn't really fit the bill. It just scales too slow for how much HP enemies have. Like, even the basic enemies late in the run have, like, 8 to 10 HP, which means that you need to have 3 or 4 units dying before this even can take out basic backliners. Like, not even taking into account the, like, 50 HP sweep chosen assassins. Like, anyways. But again, that's something that can mostly be handled just with, like, number tweaks rather than needing a full adjustment. Also, hold on 1 second while I untangle this cord. There we go. You basically need hallowed holes, don't you? Kind of. It doesn't totally solve the issue, though. And that's also weird in other ways, since hallowed holes just... like, it encourages a different sort of deck, and it doesn't really solve your problems. Yeah, I probably should have not set up on bottom floor, but here we are. Oh, I thought I spaced out that you're not surviving because you're not taking enough damage. You're surviving because you have reanimate. What, you don't have like 16 units die before your first 50 HP sweep enemy? Yeah, imagine. Yeah, the problem is that I can't survive like this. I am not doing enough damage. Oh, I do survive with the Driftfall, kind of, though. But it's not really enough to solve my issues. Okay. We're gonna let the other unearthed treasures go for the moment. Just because if I can draw it on the right turn, that would be really fucking helpful. I'm so low on HP, it's real bad. Okay, this is the turn that we want this, for sure. And we did get back the real important one. Don't die to a Vengeful Shard again. I'm trying. I'm trying real hard. Oh, God. Yeah, so that's the kill right there. Oh, God. What a clusterfuck. Again, we're on the edge of greatness. Like, we have almost everything that we need for victory. We're not taking Memento Mori. Remnant Host is cool, but not really applicable to our current needs. We're going to take the Dig Deep as a secondary option that is not contingent upon other things. Unfortunately, I really need Merchant of Magic, and you may notice that there's no goddamn Merchant of Magic anywhere around. Like, it's my own fault, sort of. I probably should have gone here. I didn't. Whatever. But, God, I need it. I think we're going here. The healing is helpful because I'm not guaranteed to have good starts. Merchant of Arms is maybe... We're going here regardless. Emote Tome is real good. Unfortunately, I don't have extra Ember, which makes it harder to utilize, but... well, we're definitely taking Canio, like, without question. That's by far the better choice for us. But yeah, like, especially with Lightstone Casing... Would have been really appreciated to have more Merchants of Magic. I mean, I could take Attuned Whetstone, but it just draws me the Mitosis Cap from the beginning, which is, like, fine, but not very exciting. Okay, we'll see what happens. Could add something to my toast in the next Arms Merchant, but I don't know if that's too good. Yeah, I mean, I could, but the chances that it matters to my team is pretty low. Okay, let's just generate a bunch of fungi. Yes, some of them are gonna die, so be it. That's just kind of life. Okay, Fade gets killed by Kale, as is always destined to be. Alright, and then Fade blocks the hit. Troop doesn't count for melting cards, right? If you're talking about the, like, for everything that's died this battle, correct. Or maybe I'm wrong. I do think it actually works for Memories of the Melted. Which means maybe it does work for the others. I always have trouble remembering with this. I guess it probably works. Troop is weird in what it applies to and what it doesn't. I'll be quite honest about that. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird edge cases. Which makes it hard to keep straight. Yeah. So, here's the problem is I don't have capacity to play both of these now. I think we're doing you instead of Fade, even though that makes Fade not very helpful. But hey, here we are. Barons can farm Mushroom Children, but cards don't get to do 1,000,000 damage or Ember Restore would be very lame. Yeah, like you said, I think I was wrong. I think it is actually... also, I 100% did these in the wrong order, but that's okay. I think I was wrong. I think it is actually the case that they... do count for those. I know it doesn't matter if we're playing Wax Gap. After all that propagate seems like a waste. Could have propagated all that on Kale earlier. Like I said, completely doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, you're correct. There were reasons for it. Wait, troop deaths count as real unit deaths? Can Memento Mori actually do 500? I think it can. But I do forget exactly how it is. Yeah, also, I don't know that I really wanted to copy you. But... so be it. You did actually survive the battle. Okay. We don't really want Wicco's recruitment. Forma's Child is awful. Is definitely a card deserving a rework. It really annoys me, as is. It's such a clunky card, and it doesn't take that much to make it into a not clunky, awful card. Deadly Variant is honestly okay for us here, but I think we're going to not take it. And now the great decision. Do I take Ember or do I take Capacity? Or do I just take more draw? I think we're taking the Ember. I really want Capacity, especially now that I have an extra Spore Launcher that I don't know what to do with. But I think we're just taking the Ember. Don't you need Capacity? I need Capacity if I want to fit all my units together. If I don't care about that, no, I don't need it. And the extra Ember helps with Emote Tome, and it helps with a variety of other things. And I don't necessarily need to be putting Fade on the same floor as everyone else. Okay, so there's the Endless we wanted. And then Dualism goes here, or it goes there. Actually might do it on the Moral Mistress. Yeah, fuck it. We'll do it on the Moral Mistress, I guess. Right. Actually might want to do this on the Wax Cap so we have a higher chance of drawing it early. But I'm going to do it here. Unfortunately, what I really want is I want to do remove consume on that. Oh well, here we are. We got a lot of problems. Got a lot of problems. Okay. So. Oh, you do have Sweep, though, which is good. Because I do actually want Fade to die here. It is bad in other ways, mind you, because I need to not be dying to other things. But that's where the Wax Cap comes in. Look at him go, fulfilling all our great earthly desires. And yes, I should have done that a different way. So be it. That's fine. Here we are. Unfortunately, my dudes are still getting low. Oh, fuck me. I forgot that you extended the burnout, too. Ugh. I think we're not going to do the whack or the mitosis cap. Maybe I should. You know what? I'll do it. That's fine. We'll copy her. It's okay. Also, maybe there's a possibility that we hit whatever artificial Pyre Stones, which would give us extra deployment ember. Don't love that Fade's not dying. But hey. Didn't really need to do that, but hey. Okay, we're doing like this so that we don't extend his burnout. Sap the shit out of them. Unfortunately, Fade is not contributing, but whatever. It's not the end of the world, though it does mean that Fade isn't going to be bulking up for later, which is sort of an issue. This is not a good turn. But we just need to beat the boss. So alternatively, we could also daze him for 2 turns, which I had considered. Because we could instead do like the drip fall first. We put a substantially less decay out though. And unfortunately, I don't have any consume cards this turn. This is exactly the sort of reason that I'm worried about having Fade stranded on top floor, by the way. Okay, well, we're doing it this way, I guess. We might have to restart the battle, though. But we'll see. Not helpful. Yeah, you're a problem, Rax. We get it. Oh, God, so much damage. Yeah, absolutely waste of a turn, by the way. Yeah, not helpful. Yeah, anyways, here we are. I just need to play slightly differently. Mostly, I think I just need to not waste all of my unearthed treasures early on, since I am actually fairly reliant on those. And it would be rather helpful to not have Fade get trapped in the Netherworld. Okay. I'm gonna give you HP because you want it, and crave it, and need it. Yeah, not doing nearly as much decay as one would want, but I did some other things which were vaguely useful. Okay, though again, I am kind of wasting my consume cards, which is sort of an issue. Okay, so I still have an unearthed treasure in there, and that's about it. I'm gonna grab the spawning pods. Wax cap, getting some love. Yeah, not nearly as much love as we want, but it's doing some work for us. I actually probably should have played Fade behind him. But hey, let's see what we can do. Okay, moment of truth. Unfortunately, we're not going to draw the unearthed treasures because we just drew past them. I can at least do this, which is so much more Ember than is ever going to be relevant to my needs. Why not Driftfall Fade so Fade is on the bottom floor? Because she would eat up the last capacity, so I couldn't play the Wax Cap on that floor. And so I would have one less rally, and I wouldn't be getting the sap and all that jazz. Not that the sap is doing a lot for me against Rax when I don't draw the Unearthed Treasure on the right turn. But that was the reasoning for it. Yeah, I just don't want to play the Wax Cap. Okay, so I now have more Ember than I've ever desired in my life. I technically did this in the wrong order where I should have played them out first, which, bear with me while we do this in the correct ordering. We might still have been okay right there, but it was just a very clear misplay on my part. Where we need to play you, do this, then do this. Okay. And then we can do things. Would have been good if we'd gotten back another Spore Launcher instead of Steward. Oh well, who cares? Okay, yeah. Already have the kill there. Now we have this better kill, since you were taking a lot of decay damage every turn, and Fade is pumping out okay damage. I do still take a lot of damage on the Pyre from this fight, because my deck is inconsistent in unhelpful ways. But we're getting there. Okay, we are absolutely going here, which nicely lines up with the healing, though mostly we just care about the Merchant of Magic. There is Artificial Pyre Stone. Split Anvil sort of doesn't matter to us. The only thing that does matter to me is Remove Consume, which is unfortunately not here. I mean, ideally it would have been Remove Consume and Spell Chain, but didn't happen, which does make my life dramatically worse. Holdover also sort of appreciated, but here we are. Not incredibly useful to my needs. Yeah, that's fairly bad. Well, we're going to permafrost this, I guess, and be disappointed by this general turn of events. Okay, here we go. We got problems. Okay. Okay, well, we did end up drawing the Gooey Flask and the Driftfall on turn 1, which I was not expecting to. Okay, well, Had I known, I could have set up on bottom floor, and it would have been better, and it would have been fine, but we didn't know. We didn't know! We didn't know at the time. Except that I forgot that you do end up being sort of ridiculously powerful. And I definitely should have dazed you for 2 turns instead. But I was thinking that that was unnecessary, and turns out I was wrong. Let's start from the beginning and be a little cheesy, but that's fine. Mostly it's that I thought for some reason that so long as I got the gooey flask, we'd be okay. But turns out we're not, so... maybe that's not the right way to do that. Oh well, it's what we're trying to do. We'll see what happens. I did forget that you're making everyone stronger. Yeah, this is the problem with my deck. Because now everyone just kind of dies. And I don't really have the way to deal with that. %, needed things to be different. Yeah, the problem is that even if I... Like, I just don't have a way to recover from this because I have no way to, like, reform all of my units. I mean, I can definitely play differently, but yeah, having gotten rid of, like, all the primitive molds, it's just not really feasible to my needs. Like, I can do all that, but that doesn't mean anything. And I'm probably just gonna lose on this fight. Because I don't have enough defense. Like, this is part of why I was trying to get remove consume on the unearthed treasures so I could be consistently getting back... So I could be consistently getting back the... What am I trying to say? Like, ways to sap enemies. Like, I can do somewhat decent damage. I have a lot of decay on, but it does not matter when I'm letting all of these enemies through. Yeah, I don't know that I have a way through this. I definitely did not make a winning deck. I do think I'm pretty fucked. Like, there are slightly different things I can do, but mostly it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm sorry. I did end up doing this in the wrong order. Whatever. Like, we'll try it one more time. Pretty confident that we're dead. Because I don't have defense for this fight. I forgot that part of the goal here is we need to have Fade up front. Like, technically I can do things differently. Not a great plan regardless. Okay, so. Yeah, I should have done it differently because that's the one spell I really didn't want to get back. Because, like, the only way that I win this, basically, is if I am applying enough decay that I am just killing quickly. But pretty confident we're not going to do that. Yeah, handful. Let's actually do this slightly differently. Play out Fade first to get a little bit more hand size. Okay. I should have played out the spawning pods first, so it would have been back in the pile. I could apply Decay to them, but it doesn't really matter because the Titan skin prevents them from dying. Unfortunately, Fade also doesn't die here. I suppose I could have Decayed Fade, which wouldn't have been the worst play. But I wouldn't have been the worst. I mean, would have been actually quite good. Yeah, unfortunately, the meager sap that I generate doesn't matter a whole ton. Also, I'm taking just way too much damage here. Had I realized, I would have played you before playing the Wax Cap, but I forgot that I had things in the Reform pool. Like, I am doing a lot of damage to Seraph. I don't need to last that many more turns. I don't know where. I hit a break point. Probably nowhere. Okay. Goodbye, my health. It's pretty bad. But yeah, just in general, my deck sort of just kind of runs out of steam. God, we're so close to something workable here. I'm technically alive. I don't actually do these because Seraph should die on mid-floor. But yeah, we're real fucked because there's like one specific way that I win the Titan fight, and this is not not really feasible. But technically I get to the Titan fight. Oh, whoops, there's an amalgam up there. Never mind. Fuck me. Wasn't paying enough attention. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We were going to lose on the Titan fight anyways, unless I had enough sap to keep Dominion permanently sapped, which is possible with the way that my deck worked. But then we also would have had to make sure that Savagery never was alone on a floor. Arg missed the mastery. That's fair. That would have been nice. Umbra banished. Let's just double check. I haven't done that. Yeah, so you want it with Primordium. Okay, sounds good. We'll do that, I guess. Banished. There we go. But yeah, didn't have great enough defense for what we're dealing with, and it was a problem. Oh, wow. Okay. Might actually want the Inspire. I think we still probably want Just Cause, though. Yeah, we'll take Just Cause. It's generally better. Though I definitely am happier to have the Plink than the Shade Splitter. Avenger is fine. Cleave is a good card, and Making of a Morsel is whatever. Well, that's an interesting split of options. Inspire has the edge case of not having to bring Primordium to the front if you want to feed the bit of Valor, I suppose. Yeah, not just the Valor, but yes, yeah. That was more or less the reason to be taking, is that I can use on the floor more easily without having to worry about the shifting. But I still pretty much just want the Just Cause anyways. Also, if I do end up with a floor that has a lot of units, like, the Inspire does give more attack per play, basically, than Just Cause does, if you're not using, like, shift units. And just because you're using Banish does not mean you are automatically using shift units, even though people treat it like that is the case. Anyways, here's the deal. I hate Odie's Totem. We're probably not taking Odie's Totem, though it might be okay for us here. Which is why I'm sitting here trying to maybe talk myself into taking it. Purified Soul Shard is fine. Fairly underwhelming. Especially in this clan combo, there's not really a situation where I want it. Odie's Totem, I really worry about losing the Deployment Ember. But there's a lot of expensive spells in Banished. There's also some X spells that I could use the extra Ember with. I don't know. Fuck it. We're taking Odie's Totem. Look at us go. Okay. So we're going to take Stalwart Snack. Unfortunately, it does basically nothing for us at the beginning, but with the existence of equipment, it's a lot more appealing overall. We're going to do this, and we're going to hope that we get... God, I hate having 2 Deployment Ember. Feels so bad. Anyways, we're going to hope that we get Plinks. Or the Cleave. Cleave is also good. Okay. Well, fine. Sacrifices must be made. Was really hoping we'd have a Plink right here, but sadly we don't. Alright, never mind. We're gonna do this a slightly other way. I'd considered this before, and then I don't know why I chose against it. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to Just Cause you, and then Just Cause you. So this way we're still killing all 3 of them. Well, this way we are killing all 3 of them instead of letting one go to the pyre room. We get less Valor on the Avenger, but realistically that doesn't matter. Okay. Let's do that to ensure that your minion is murdered. And then we should pretty easily kill you. Like, we're not incredibly strong. Primordium is honestly not doing a whole lot for us. But we are strong enough. Especially because we give melee weakness on Revenge. And then we just kind of beat you to death pretty easily. There we go. Space Prism makes me angry, but maybe it's worth taking. Don't think we want the Immortal trade. Definitely don't want another Making of a Morsel. And we are up against Siphon Archeon, which is scary. Spike's Kale, which is sort of a problem that we might be able to get around with Cleave. And then Entropy is fine-ish, though not ideal. Kind of. I don't know. Do I care about Space Prism? I don't really care about Space Prism. But I still might take Space Prism, especially in a world where I have Stalwart Snack. Which is to say that Primordium is going to last longer with Stalwart Snack, and therefore he's taking up capacity for a longer period of time. But, on the other hand, what does the Space Prism matter to us? Like, I mostly care about the capacity during deployment. Means extra morsels? Yeah, but who cares about extra morsels? Like, it largely doesn't matter to me. Unless we start using, like, Shadow Eater, but we're probably not using Shadow Eater. Maybe we use Shadow Eater, but probably not. Yeah, we're gonna skip. I like the idea of Spike the Banish, but it is just kind of worse Divinity. I'll just take the Divinity. Mostly I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get enough wave clear is the big thing. I think we're going here. Remove Consume does not matter to us yet. Okay. I mean, the double stack and Consume I don't hate. But why? But why, Host Guard? Do I care about Host Guard? The problem is that I don't have the deployment ember for it. Especially since I took Odie's Totem. Like, I can't. I cannot do that. And ultimately, does it matter? Does it matter to me? I think the answer is no. But I still am, like, vaguely intrigued at the prospect of taking it. 5 Firebrand is good. It is probably better for us than Avenger, kind of. Just to remind me, Wing Shield is specifically HP. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to skip this regardless so that I can take both of these and put them on the Divinity. Never mind. Not enough. Oh, well. My bad. I would have rather take the double stack, I guess, but that's fine. Okay. Well, here we are. Okay, well, we're playing you there, so we can do that, and then we're doing that for sure. Also need to remember that I have Aquaths to use, but that hasn't really been relevant yet. I mean, at the moment we're doing okay, it's just I'm mostly looking ahead to the future, and I'm not totally sure how we're going to have enough wave clear. The Cleave will sort of do it, though it doesn't work great during the Seraphite is the big thing. Mostly because the Purified Souls, or whatever they're called, come in with damage shields, and that's an issue for us. But who knows? Maybe that won't be an issue. Maybe we'll get Jack strips and we'll be able to take care of it that way. Who knows? The Avenger at least murders bosses pretty hard. Also, there's always the possibility that we hit Superfood and we give him multi-strike with, like, Void Armaments, and then it doesn't matter. Selfless Sacrifice is good. Divinity is a maybe. I do like Selfless Sacrifice, but I don't know that this is really the time I want it. I'll just take another Divinity, I guess. And then we're going here. I do want the Merchant of Steel, but, like, getting equipment for our dude is so useful. Also, Shield of Wing is not unwelcome. Do I want Everlasting Light? Kind of want Everlasting Light. The problem is I don't know that it's really going to work for us. Well, I'm going to do that, and maybe regret it, but so be it. We're going to remember to do this in the correct sequencing. God, I wish I had Intrinsic on the Divinity. This is 100% the wrong play, but we're going to do it. Really should not be doing that. Absolutely, will be totally honest. Very much incorrect. If it had Intrinsic, that's a different story. Doesn't have Intrinsic, though. So. Yeah. Another 5 times Alchemy incident? Yeah. You know it. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have the Ember to play the Shield of Wing. Well, that simplifies matters. I was going to block with a Morsel, but if I've got Lifesteal, we actually don't have to. Yeah, I know, you get stronger. It's not great, but we are sitting on a bunch of armor from the divinities. Which is why we did it. I did forget that I had Aquas, otherwise I might have used the cleave that turn. Yeah, good job, Plink. Hitting those priority targets. How kind of you. Oh, okay. Yeah, look at us with our copious valor. Certainly don't dislike that. It's just a shame that Shield Wing doesn't scale on armor and HP, but only on HP. I mean, there's good reason that it doesn't. It's already a very good equipment. It's just that, for our purposes, it'd be a lot better if it also took armor into account. Okay, now this is not going to be a contest. Like, he does a little bit of damage to us, but even so, we easily beat him to death. Especially because he gets banked a bunch of melee weakness because I just wasn't actually getting in to attack him. So by the time we hit him for 900 all at once. Wings Radiance is not bad. I'll take it. It's a little weird, but fine. Kind of want the Sword Maiden. Just because you can get so much Valor so quickly. But we're not going to do that. At least the Divinities remove itself this time, unlike Alchemy. Yeah, I mean, that's part of why I was willing to do it, because the Divinities having Consume on them makes them way less cumbersome for us. I think we still want to go here and, like, look for a holdover on the cleave. It doesn't, like, do as much for us, though. We could also maybe do holdover Wings Radiance, which is kind of cute. Kind of awkward, for sure, but... if I went here, honestly don't know what I would care about. Like, there's a lot of good artifacts, don't get me wrong. I just don't know what specifically would be useful for me. I guess we're going here. Again, I lack a meaningful equipment to give him, but so be it. Could do that, which is kind of cute. I think we're just going to do this on the other divinity, although I should have rolled for holdover instead, and I didn't because I got carried away. Whatever, here we are. The reanimate's not too big a deal, kind of. Because we have Shield of Wing and we have Primordium, so like we have some extra hits even with only a single unit. It is still a problem though. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not able to finish off because Primordium doesn't have any attack damage. so he can't get through the Titan skin. Otherwise, we'd be able to do it, but that's the problem. To that end, I should have done the divinity on him for that reason. It just didn't occur to me until it's too late. Unfortunately, Primordium doesn't pass on all of his attack, as most of it's coming from the Valor, and that's just how that works. So we don't get hefty benefits. Which is to say, like, even though we amped his attack, it's not increasing the amount that he's passing on to our dude. Which is a shame. At least the Everlasting Light gives armor, not armor, Valor on strike. So that's something. And overall, we should be in very good shape to murder the boss. Like, that's not in question. Okay, so you should kill there, you should kill there. We shouldn't lose the melee weakness. Alright, and then after one round of combat, we hit back for 2,000. Look at us go. I mean, the feast is sort of appealing. It's gonna look weird, but I will take another Shield of Wing. That's one mean strike. You're not wrong. Could take the Swift Steel Dagger. Steward's Quarters is sort of fine. Except I'm out of banners at this point, so I'm kind of locked in with what I'm doing. Well, I still haven't upgraded my dude at all. I guess I'll give him Wrath, though. Maybe not worth doing. I kind of want the Equalizing Rings. Because they would be sort of a roundabout method to get Primordium to pass on decent attack power. It is a rather weird and awkward way to do it, though. Okay. So, we're merging those two. We're making the Fight Club deployable. I don't fucking know. Here we are. We'll take the Feast and make another, I guess. I probably should do other things. Here's what we got. I have many problems. And admittedly, I'm vaguely hoping to see things later on that would just solve my problems. Unfortunately, I don't have the Ember for the Fight Club yet. I really would like to see a tuned Whetstone. There's a lot of things I would like. But we'll see what we get. No. Unhelpful. Also not a helpful time to draw that, but okay. Whatever. If we get a little bit of corruption, it's okay. Ish. So we can just bop him, which means that then I don't get sapped by any of that. Okay. Yeah, we were going to take a little bit of fire damage because I'm just not quite killing that guy. But that's not bad. He doesn't do a ton of damage, and we haven't taken like any damage up until now. Why did Primordium not transfer its attacks previously? It did. What was happening, if you're talking about previously, it was not transferring the attack it gained from Valor, and that was basically the only way I was buffing up Primordium prior to this, where now I have the Fight Club. You don't really need to do this because you're just going to transfer that anyways. But anyway, so that's why. It's just that previously, basically, the only way I was buffing him was with Valor, and the Valor is a status effect, and status effects are only passed on through Superfood, Primordium. The others only pass on raw stats. And so, like, attack power from Valor and Rage does not count. I'm going to skip on the Void Binding, though it's a very good card. I'll take the Eagle Heart. So I still haven't done any upgrades. The removals are probably worth it. I also kind of really want the Merchant Magic for the Cleave or the Eagle Heart. Unfortunately for the Eagle Heart, I don't have Trample. It does not count now? No. Like, the only thing that he's passing on currently is raw stats. He does not pass on extra attack gained from Valor because Valor is a status effect. It is a buff. But if I put, like, equipment on him, or if I'm giving him attack via the Fight Club, that does get passed on because it is just raw stats. I guess I'm gonna go here. Don't need the Smidge Stone. Don't think I need the damage shields. We don't want quick. Dualism is kind of cute. Could also do the Valor. I don't know. Fuck it. I guess we're doing that. Is it correct? No, but it is what I'm doing. We're getting rid of these. Alright, have a nice night, Fury. Okay. The spikes is concerning. Maybe worth it. I maybe do want to do the Fight Club first. It's just that missing out on this is so detrimental. But, like, getting the extra attack from the Fight Club is so useful. Unfortunately, I lose a lot of HP. No, I was hoping that would hit the Misshapen Fiend. Yeah, this is the problem, though, is that It's not just that they gain a ton of spikes, it's that they gain an insane amount of HP as well. Why are you... Oh, because I don't have the Shield of Wing on you. I was like, why are you surviving when you very clearly should not? Yeah, turns out, need to play the Shield of Wing, turn 1. Was not surprised by this turn of events. But I let the greed get to me. Turns out, I do in fact need to actually let my deck do its general game plan. Okay. You're right. Yeah, you guys do scare me quite a bit. And unfortunately, the Everlasting Light is not helpful. I don't have capacity, I don't have a free slot to play it onto. Okay, yeah. This looks a lot better. Unfortunately, you are losing some HP, and I'm not going to do the Eagle Heart, because then you just actually attack into the spikes more, and I don't love that, so we'll just get rid of you. Unfortunately, we got those in reverse order, because if I had played him first, I could have gotten rid of the Everlasting Light, which would have been nice. Also, because I'm on top floor, I constantly have to deal with the Scourge cards, because I'm not killing those guys in any reasonable time frame. Which is sad, especially because the, like, as much as I like Monster Train 2 quite a lot, I do think it perhaps relies a bit too much on Scourge cards. Like, I should not be having 3 Scourge cards generated a turn just because I am unable to kill these guys. That's a lot. I would go so far as to call it somewhat of an insane amount. And I don't think it's particularly engaging when you get to a point where you're basically not drawing any new cards on any given turn. Don't think that's particularly great gameplay. Luckily, this battle is not quite that bad, though it is not great in that regard. Like, here we are, just trying the same set of garbage every turn. Okay. I was really hoping we could kill him and get a lifesteal morsel. If I could get a lifesteal morsel, that'd be real good for me. Because I have a lot more HP than I'm actually utilizing right now. I did kind of forget that you are creating a feedback loop. It's so rare that I do this fight not on bottom floor. We can at least kill some of your morsels. You still have an uncomfortable level of spikes, but at least you are not at an insane level, kind of. Okay, that's all we need to win. There we go. Still winning. I did kind of fuck it up, but it's okay. So I get the kill, he dies to the spikes at the same time, everything's fine. Somehow we didn't take any damage on that fight. Here we are. We are gonna take the Wretch. It's not perfect for us though, because when he comes back out, he won't have the equipment on. I also might just want the Blood-Soaked Arena. Well, I'd have to give up the Fight Club, and I don't want to give up the Fight Club. Although maybe the Fight Club doesn't matter. The Fight Club is irrelevant once I'm using the equalizing rings. Which actually I probably should have taken into account before now, and I definitely didn't for some reason. Fair enough. Well, I guess we're going to take that then. And we're definitely taking Ember, because I badly want more deployment Ember. Bare minimum. So I could do Superfood, which also gives more HP, and I'm pretty sure we're doing that. Although the extra buffet is nice. Also, I hope that this works the correct way with the equalizing rings. I honestly don't remember if it does currently or not. We'll find out. Let the Valor stacking begin? Yeah, possibly. Anyways, we'll see what happens. This actually might go a little poorly for my general desires, but we'll find out. We're gonna do that. Although I should have re-rolled instead and looked for something else. I got carried away, though. And I didn't. Whatever, who cares? I guess we're copying that. I don't know. What I should have done is tried to get remove consume on the Eagle Heart and stuff. I mean, the Eagle Heart doesn't really help me in the ways that I want it to. Turns out I still have a lot of problems. Okay, but I can at least do this now. And so we do stack 70 Valor all at once, which I appreciate. Oh, so the wrong order. I don't think it matters a ton, but it was wrong. Okay, so then we eat now, before we swap the room. And we're gonna put you up front. It barely matters. The problem is that my revenge trigger does not work while I'm silenced, which is an issue. Which means I am not killing most of these enemies, which means I'm taking a bunch of fire damage like a chump. Which is why I have been hoping that I would get, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Jack strips. I kept wanting to say pin strips, and I knew that was not the right word in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, jack strips is what we want, so that we can, like, have a way to be killing off at least the purified souls ahead of time. I don't know. None of this matters. I do have tons of attack. I don't have trample, though, which makes it a lot less helpful. Which is why I'm relying on the, like, Shield of Wing. But also, again, why I should have gotten hold over cleave. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Yeah, it just takes so much damage if I let this through. Because I can't kill you if I could have the morsel survive, I could put him in front so he'd kill there, and then the Avenger would kill. Like, I just needed the fucking Herald up front. Sort of. I don't know. Like, I needed some way to kill him. I think I survived this, but, like, God, is it bad? Oh, God. Yeah, that's real fucking bad. These days, not even 1,000 damage is enough. You're not wrong. Yeah, drawing the cleave right now is so bad. Come on! Nope. I've returned. Why are we running another pyre with less than 20 health? Because of the silence dudes being literally the worst enemy in the game. Bar none. Like, they just are. Not because they're hard, necessarily, just because they're fucking lame as shit. God damn you. So close to being acceptable. Let's retry this battle. That was almost crazy luck. Yeah! Yeah, it almost was. Ugh. God. Oh, yeah, and I don't actually get any benefit from eating Primordium because I was silenced. It consumes the thing, I just don't get the stats. Apparently hitting all 4 plane kits there is a 1.23% chance. Does not surprise me. Wrong ordering, but hey. Okay, let's do this correctly. Yeah, so we can't do the divinity because I will die. I guess I will play that there, and then this doesn't matter because I am not actually taking any damage yet. Well, so be it. Okay, this is at least a useful turn for the Eagle Heart, kind of. Once again, it's a turn where Primordium being eaten does fuck all for me, which is annoying, but whatever, fine. Unfortunately, you are going to hurt quite a bit, and there's a little I can do about that. Yeah, I thought that was gonna do that. Wait, just caused them Eagle Heart. You mean the last turn? If so, maybe. I spaced out if that was a possibility. Could have shifted Silencer forward, then used Eagle Heart. If that was a possibility, I totally spaced out. I didn't think that I had a just cause, but I clearly was just filled with anger and great undeniable grief. Unfortunately, I would love to kill this guy, but he'll die if I give him any extra attack, so I can't do that. Okay, at least get that kill. Okay, whatever. Take a bunch of damage, we suffer in great, unknowable pain, but it's at least less bad than last time, and this should be pretty easy. Oh no, we're giving them spikes. However shall we handle such a fate? Okay, anyways, here we are. I probably could have done this with taking a lot less damage, so be it. Here we are. Unfortunately, Entropy is... okay, the Umbra Stone is basically all we needed. Yeah, we'll take Lead Songbird. 100% we'll take Lead Songbird. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have Merchant of Magic, so I can't look for things that I care about. But, that's fine. We're gonna go here, just get some buffer HP. I don't know what we're gonna do. That's fine. Yeah, happily we'll take that. We'll take this, I guess, even though it doesn't really matter. Yeah, happily we'll take that. Beautiful turn events. Probably should have spent time removing some cards from my deck. Didn't do it. That's fine. Okay, now, what are we duping? Probably just another divinity. I mean, like, the real correct choice is I do the Umbra Stone, so I draw into it faster. But we're just going to trust in a generous world and hope that things are fine. My deck is thick, though, and kind of a mess, but... Also, we should probably have put the Steward up top and blocked it with that instead. Like, overall, it's okay. We're going to take some damage. It will make the Shielded Wing a little less potent, but for the most part, we'll make up for it with the amount of HP that Primordium is giving off. Passing a lot of sap, yeah, but it's not going to matter. I don't know why I did that. I forgot that this guy's healing anyways, but whatever. Now, the moment of truth is, do I get either Cleave or the Umbra Stone? I did not. I could go on a Plink Rampage, and there's a possibility that I can hit the Purified Soul. I just need to hit him twice out of 4 hits, which is admittedly low. It would also make him a lot stronger regardless, and I think I'm just going to have to eat... Excuse me. I think I'm just going to have to eat the 23 damage like a chump. In the meantime, we'll just give you 12 melee weakness and heal ourselves a little bit. In fact, actually, we're going to... give you 18 melee weakness and heal ourselves for slightly more. Yeah. It is still a lot of damage, but whatever. Yeah, really could have used this last turn. Okay, well, unfortunately we took a lot of damage, but we're fine now. Yeah, as we're getting another 500 armor off of this. Again, it's a shame that Wing Shield doesn't scale with armor and only scales with health. It's fine. Still very good regardless. Yeah, and so long as we have armor, or not armor, trample, we're totally fine here. Like, even with the silence, we just bop them for, you know, 1,000 some. I was hoping that we could heal more before the end of this fight, but... so be it. Like, it's still possible that we draw into the, whatever that's called one more time. But it is unlikely. Ah, Wings Radiance. There we go. And then we'll just hit him for 17,000. I could have done more if I'd let them attack into me first, because it would have applied more melee weakness. But it was cute to do regardless. Anyways, we're at 60 HP. It's okay. It's not the highest HP, but it's within reason. We also will be able to speed up the fight if we want. Is that a record? No! I'll show you why in a mere moment. Highest damage dealt by a unit. 1,855,001. It's actually way higher than that, because our unit had 8 million attack at the time, but because of the way that it gets recorded, it actually didn't get recorded correctly. But anyways, it actually should be 8 million something. What build was it? It was a feedback loop of Devour Grail with Brain Transfer. So he eats his minion, it gives him attack, you use Brain Transfer, which gives his attack to the front minion, and then you just keep doing that every turn, basically. And so you are generating... because Devour Grail, just to make this easier to explain, so Devour Grail at rank 3 gains 3 times the attack of the unit that he's eating. And so you eat just like any assistant, as long as it has Reanimate, it will survive. He gains 3 times whatever their attack was, and like I said, use Brain Transfer to move Grail's attack back onto the unit. You just keep doing that, and it just multiplies every turn, basically. So that's how you do it. But yes, it is very cute. Need a good amount of Reanimate, right? Yeah, more to the point, you need consistent Reanimate, because you need to have Reanimate on both Grail and the Assistant, and the Brain Transfer moves it off of Grail every time you use it. So yeah, there are some hurdles to overcome, but it is definitely very doable nonetheless. You bastard. Maybe I should have been on bottom floor, but I wanted more time to not be. I guess we'll do that, even though it's not particularly helpful yet. Unfortunately, I do get these Scourge cards now. Also, definitely not the ordering I wanted to get these in. But we'll do this now, I guess. We'll still give you 8, which means you're basically dead already. We'll beat you for 350. And then do a good chunk of damage to you. It's going to be a while before we can kill you. And unfortunately, I still am getting more Scourge cards. Feels real bad. And I haven't gotten the Hymnist yet. But overall, we have definitely won this. Yeah, unfortunately, you... I should have saved the ability so I could bop you, because now I can't play the Hymnist without him dying. But, like, whatever, fine. Alright, regardless, we're just waiting to kill Savagery, which we should do in mere moments. Ta-da, playing that for no real reason. Yeah, he attacks in, takes a lot of damage, and we trample over, and we beat him dead. Especially because he has the multi-strike, he ends up applying melee weakness 4 to himself, and so then we just hit back for an unseemly amount, and just beat him to death. Anyways, that was a bit clumsy of a run. It was pretty cute. I do like that we had no multi-strike. We only got trample right at the end, and we made it work. The really big problem for us was just the silencers, because they are the worst, dumbest enemies in the game. I will never forgive their existence. I just think they're not great. They're not healthy for the game. They're not interesting. They're not exciting. Whatever. We made it work. That is not the button I meant to press. Here we go. Alright. Well, we have 1 win out of 3 runs tonight, so not the best. Not the best record. Right. At least we don't have any bosses currently that silence. Like, if we ever do, that would just be so dumb. Like, it's effectively the same that we do have some bosses that silence, because, like, Entropy's waves have silence, you can send them, but... Old Hellhorned and Lazarus. Yeah, we can do that, I guess. I have not done a whole lot of runs with Queen. Admittedly, partly because I've been trying to stall on a lot of the Monster Train 1 clans waiting for the update. But, who knows. Regardless, yeah, we'll do Queen and Lazarus. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I was doing that from the beginning, but it has been a long time, and it definitely has gotten to the point where I really need to actually just be playing the Monster Train 1 clans. Especially because that is where most of my remaining crowns are. Morning all, how it goes? Well, we've had a lot of failure and a little bit of success, so it's going okay. How about you, Edwin? Anyways, we're definitely taking secret ingredients. I do like erratic assistance quite a bit, but I don't think we want them here, especially when we're already going to be competing with capacity with the Implings. And the secret ingredients are just very versatile. There is sort of a reason to take the erratic assistance anyways, because it does make it easier to use, like, Pincushion and some other things if we happen to see them. But mostly Secret Ingredient's just going to be better for us. And it doesn't matter because we have Pyre Dominion. And we have Entropy. Not great. Okay. Well, what do we got? Interesting starting options. I'm going to take the double important work, even though it currently does nothing. So that's an interesting set of options. Faulty Body, we are in a decent clan combo for, since we have access to armor and we have Reanimate, and like it is a lot of spikes. And I don't totally hate that. True gamers replicate an imp to important work them. On the bright side, might be a quick run. No, we should be okay. It's just going to be awkward. And it's going to morph what our deck looks like to a fair degree. So, anyways, the deal here is that all three of these are useful, just in very different ways. Because, like, the Insatiable Hunger helps us get through the early game, kind of. It's not terribly helpful because, like, Queen has low health, the Branded Warrior has low health. We already have Lifesteal from the Sanguine Assistants anyways, kind of. So I think we're not taking that. I'm okay just in that twilight between life and sleep. I live in that time frame. I know that very well. Replicate Array is definitely the most exciting here, kind of. The problem is, well, multitudinous. One, we don't really have any equipment, and Hellhorn has no equipment, so it's a little harder for us to get equipment to use it with. It's expensive, and I don't explicitly have anything worth copying yet. But it is very cool. I don't think we want Replicate Array, because, like, the best thing you can do with Replicate Array, I mean, it's a versatile card, but, like, the most exciting thing you do with it is you, like, copy your champion. But there's not really a queen path worth copying. There's sort of, like, there's sort of a world where you could do Imp Parade, so you're getting multiple imps every turn generated, which is, like, kind of cute, but mostly unhelpful. Or obviously we could, like, you know, maybe get, like, Apex Imp or Deranged Brute or something like that and copy them, but, like, it's a lot of hoops to jump through at the moment in a non-very helpful way. We're just gonna take the Faulty Body. And we're gonna take Steelworker, I think. Yeah. That's not what I wanted to see. What I wanted to see, for, like, the first time ever, I wanted to see Hulking Mass. Specifically, because it works well with Faulty Body. Makeshift Golem also sort of okay, but yeah. At the moment, we're full of struggles. Like, Plague Doctor's good in general, and I do like that's a one capacity unit. You haven't seen the Slime Dude ever either, right? If you're talking about Reformed Ooze or Reforming Ooze, I have seen it, I just haven't taken it. Because I didn't have a run where Reanimate was a workable option. So, anyways, Plague Doctor's good, and it's maybe good in the future because it's one capacity. That's probably the right choice here. Kind of want to take Pincushion. The problem with Pincushion is we only have the 2 Sanguine Assistants, and that's kind of a hard sell. But on the other hand, like, the permanent scaling is not unwelcome, even if we're only giving it +6/+6 per battle. it would still mean that after battle 1, it would be an 18-18, and it would have lifesteal, which is pretty good going into the boss. I know I'm hesitating like super long and hard here. Fuck it, we'll do Pincushion. I'll take Emotome, for sure. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Very much what I wanted was Impressive. Or Imperialist. We're still gonna take Imp Parade, though, I guess. Because Royalty is bad and boring. And this is at least sort of useful for me. Okay, look at our shenanigans unfolding. So, you're going to go there with your buddy, and then you're going to go there with a Pincushion in front, I think. And then the other one is going to go there, because that at least has some HP. Where's the Branded Warrior? Does not. You're going to go there to die, you go there, that goes there, this gets wasted. I had a run where I got the Ooze early and got him up to like 500 attack with multi-attack and duped a couple times with the run for slightly smaller versions. Was an interesting run to say the least. Yeah, it's a good unit. And I've definitely done things like that many a time. Already forgot that I have Emotome. Okay, I'm willing to do this, although then I end up drawing to the Vengeful Shard, which pisses me off, whatever. Anyways, we're just setting up the Steelworker, so if I need it, he will nuke the boss. Unhelpful. Not worth drawing into. I'm actually going to kill that one, weirdly enough, so that we don't lose a little lifesteal on it. Not helpful. Whatever. Not a big deal. Like, we have the victory, no matter what. My deck is so small that I basically just draw the same shit all the time. Alright, we had almost killed him already because the Steelworkers are doing decent work, and then we just blow him up, and if we didn't blow him up, he would have died to the Pincushion. If he didn't die to the Pincushion, he would have died to the Steelworker. Happily taking the Fledgling Imp, kind of. Gonna take the Potion Kit, I think. Though It's Alive is pretty solid. Give me Endless. I mean, I do like Dualism. I don't know that it matters. I'm actually gonna... And also, Endless is literally right in front of me. 100% just looking at the wrong thing. Admittedly, not sure how much that's actually helpful for me. Was very confused for a second there. Rightfully so, my friend. Rightfully so. Alright, what the fuck am I doing? Am I taking the Horned Warrior? I probably want the Horned Warrior. So it's like either that or I work on the Pincushion, which is not a terrible plan. I'm gonna take the Horned Warrior now, begrudgingly. Because unfortunately, I don't think I can, like, really use it right now. Because what I really need is to be able to use the Steelworkers. Okay, yeah. Okay, so, couple good things. I probably should have played you in a different spot. Whatever, we'll just accept that we're taking pyre damage, so then I can kill those guys, and you'll still kill that. I do take some pyre damage, probably should have done this a different way. Whatever, here we are. We're good as go. Also, you didn't die, but that's okay, because we can at least do this. Unfortunately, can't kill you. That's not entirely true. There's one way in which I can kill you, and it is purely this landing me that. Okay, beautiful. Look at this go. Okay, how exciting. That said, I need a lot more capacity, and I need way better defense. Not helpful. Okay. Okay, have your lifesteal, enjoy it, cherish it. Think about it each and every moment of every day. I do appreciate that this is Ember positive. Definitely enjoy that. Okay, I badly need better capacity, among other things. But, that aside, I largely have a winning situation. Well, kind of. I have problems to overcome, but we're not in bad shape at the moment. I will happily take Tiresome Climb, even though it comes with garbage. I will take another Potion Kit, even though it's a bit clunky. I actually should have taken the Trample. Whatever, I didn't. Here we are. Didn't think about it at the right time. Kind of want the healing. Mostly don't give a shit about the healing. You don't say. How do I feel about Hydra Armed Horror? Honestly, I think I feel pretty good about it. Although it does heavily change my game plan. Yeah, pretty sure I feel pretty good about that. Ooh. Oh look, pin cushion and worse pin cushion. So I kind of want to do the small box because it is just very good, but I think it's mostly overkill. And I think I'm actually happier just packing 3 units in so I can start getting rid of some of these and or just shove them on a low floor and forget about them. I could also maybe pack in the graft units, though that gets awkward in a number of ways. Gaming pack into Imp. I don't think I want to do that, though. I think we're just doing this, though it is awkward. But we're going to do Branded Warrior. We're going to do Horned Warrior. We're going to do Pincushion. The worst one. Okay, I'm willing to do that. There are other things I would like to do. If this is what we have done, so be it. I'm too poor for other things. Alright. Really would like some upgrades. And yes, I know I'm sacrificing this box, so be it. I guess let's try it like this, though I lack defense utterly and completely, which really does worry me. And unfortunately, I'm not playing at the Ember, whatever. I guess we'll do that. Okay, he does make Archeon pretty scary, which makes my lack of defense pretty bad, though we do have Tiresome Climb for just such an occasion, which makes life a lot more tolerable. Because now I'm going to be taking some chip damage from these guys, but mostly we're sort of okay. Oops. Yeah, doing the extra damage here doesn't change anything. Our Hydra Armed Horror still just kills everything in a single burst of glorious strength. And he does a lot of damage. So, good on him. And then you're just going to keep blocking, as is your one true important job. And then we just constantly have stupid little implings getting in the way. Okay, I am not going to play you out on bottom floor because I don't want to waste all of his copious amounts of days. And we're going to do that so that you guys are not killing Queen, although killing Queen at this point, not really important. We'll get rid of that. We'll take this small amount of damage from the Vengeful Shard, and we'll watch as the Hydra just kind of absolutely chunks this guy to death. There we go. Now, we have choices to make. Not taking Tome of Horrors. Don't really care about Impalate. Reinforce is a maybe. I think is a no. I'm not taking another Hydra Armed Horror. I don't think we're taking Hulking Mass. Though it is kind of a thing that I want, but it's mostly not. So we're going to skip that, and Demon Fiend is awful. And by that I mean it's an okay unit that I hate. I think it has a very poor design sense. Because it just trivializes the early game, not very useful later, and is all around boring in every facet. Also, it still baffles me that it has Trample while Shadow Siege does not. Like, such a bizarre decision. Anyways, we have problems. Because I want Ember, I want Draw, and I very much want Capacity. I think we're taking Capacity, though the Capacity is sort of solved if we hit Smidge Stone on, like, Steelworker and Hydra Armed Horror. Regardless, I think we're taking it just to ensure that we have something workable. We 100% want Merchant of Steel. Without question. The multi-strike doesn't matter too much. We're gonna do that. I might still take the multi-strike because multi-strike is multi-strike. And then there's a deranged brute? The problem is I lack defense, but, like, this is so good. I'll take it. We'll see what we're actually capable of. No, why? Why is this what we get? I'll take Imparade too, I guess, but, like... Okay, also I remembered, don't want multi-strike. I 100% want quick. Yeah. I spaced out for a moment, but very badly, quick is the name of the game. We're gonna do this, I guess. It does not solve my problems later. That we have a bit of chump block ability with the imps. Unfortunately, with the minus Ember, like, it's really bad. Okay, I think we're setting up mid-floor, though it's gonna piss me off. It's just that I absolutely have to get the imps rolling. Well, fine. I mean, I really do want to do this, though. But I do also need to get you multi-strike, and so I kind of have to do that. Fine. Sadly, that means that this doesn't kill, and so I get the Scourge card, and then I have to cry about it. But at least I can generate imps now. Kind of. And the imps are Ember positive-ish. But this is why I need the Endless Imp. And I'm still not killing you. Because why would we? Alright, let's take less damage. Stupid. There's so many Scourge generating guys in this fight. It's ridiculous. Like, I know I complained about it last run, but, like, this is the battle that I'm talking about, mostly. Also, I realize that we're in kind of bad shape versus Kel, but we'll see what we can do. Like, this battle is just so dumb. There's so many Scourge dudes that, like, if you fail to kill them at all, it just gets out of hand. Like, you should not be generating 4 Scourges per turn. That's insane. Because it means that you just very quickly get to a point where you don't get to draw new cards at all. Also, I definitely need ways to kill my imps better. I mean, Kel is sort of participating, but still. Okay, well, I'm taking more Scourge damage, which sucks, but whatever. Like, I'm not even mad about the Scourge damage so much. Like, obviously that's a pain too, but, like, the problem for me is just, I think it's really dumb that you can basically get soft-locked where you just don't see new cards ever, and that's really lame. Either way, we're skipping these. More important work is good, but not really our need. I hate it, but I'm going to take the Surgical Strike. Maybe. I'm going to take the Surgical Strike in case we need it. Because we might need it to kill our own imps. Kind of. I guess I don't really need to. I can be using the import. It works better. Whatever. Mistakes were made. It's fine. Here we are. I think we're going here. Just grabbing some more equipment that we can use on the Hydra. Okay. I mean, I don't dislike Zone of Silence. It does cut out a number of issues, except for the part where I can't really afford it. It is entropy, right? Yeah, it's entropy, but like this is still useful elsewhere. I'm not too worried about entropy in terms of like Zone of Silence. Like, yeah, it will fuck up the imps, but it's sort of okay. We have a couple turns to get rolling, and then we've got quick on the Hydra Armed Horde. Like, we should outpace that part of the issue. Like, yeah, it'll mess with the Deranged Brute. Nonetheless, I think we'll be more or less okay with entropy. I'm more concerned about, like, Kale and some other things. Unfortunately, I don't have enough Deployment Ember for the Zone of Silence and the Hydra, which is a big issue. But I think we're taking that. And we'll just take some equipment, even though I really don't want to just take equipment. I mean, I kind of want the Steward's Quarters too, but here we are. Anyways, we're taking those. It bankrupts me, whatever. Here we are. We are going to dupe the imp, so I have a greater chance of drawing into it, even though it is largely going to be unhelpful for us. And by that, I mean I don't have the capacity to, like, use multiple of them. Kind of. Okay. Unhelpful. Okay. We're just buying ourselves a little bit of time. Also, I should probably get rid of the faulty bodies, because boy, is that not helpful for me. But either way, we have the guaranteed fledgling imps, and that's something. Oh, and fuck you, I don't get to kill you because of that. Well, I guess I'm living without the Collector, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. And this is why we really need Imperialists, because I would like the imps to die ahead of time. I can still sort of make do as is. But here we are. It would be a lot better if I had guaranteed imp murder every turn. Okay, we're doing that so we don't have a unit flooding our deck. Obviously, also would be quite good if I had other things like Queen's Tail and Ashes of the Fallen. There's a lot of things that would be very nice. Unfortunately, I'm getting not a lot of gold from this fight. Because I didn't get the Collector. Also, that was a fortuitous time to draw Tiresome Climb, because then I can just move him to the top with 8 turns of days, and we're gonna murder him real good. I'm pretty confident we would have been fine regardless, because the Hydra Armed Horror has a bunch of attacks and knocks him into the reanimate very quickly. And so even with my generally low defense, I think we would have been fine. Honestly, I'll take a Horrify as well. It's whatever. Okay, we're going here. Okay. I think we're doing this. Probably should have gotten rid of more things. The question is, how the fuck am I managing this coming fight? Because unfortunately I have like multiple problems to overcome. Dupe climb. I mean, I thought about it. I thought about a lot of things, but here we are. I don't know if I can manage setting up bottom floor, but if I don't set up bottom floor, then I have a lot of other problems. Because I can't let them get spikes. Like, that is untenable. But I also don't know if I can handle, like, playing out the Zone of Silence and not having the Hydra Armed Horror on turn 1. Like, that's also very bad. Okay. So that helps a ton. And I can also do that. Sure. Pump it right into my veins. And then just have more days. Enjoy. Okay. Good turn 1. We didn't get any multi-strike on the Hydra, but we have other things going for us. And we're going to play that one out so I can get an actual extra card. Because that, turns out, is useful for us. Okay, and then you can kill there, and it worked out pretty perfectly. Like, all of my concerns were more or less taken care of. I do end up drawing a bunch of the same garbage every turn, whatever, here we are. Whatever, here we are. GG, fight over. I mean, it is. And this is part of why we actually bought equipment for the Hydra Armed Horror, because, like, I'm having trouble getting the assistant killed. Obviously, I have, like, the surgical strike now, but the point is we have some issues to overcome. No need to do more than that. Like, we're strong enough. We don't need to take the higher damage just for the sake of it. It would be nice if the surgical strike cost 0, but it doesn't. So we live and we learn. Yeah, we absolutely 100% have to kill here. Okay, anyways, Hydra Armed Horde doing some good work for us. Very vulnerable to spikes, though. And to bad draw orders. Hello, Washiaka. Thanks for the raid. How you doing? I mean, the Transcendent is pretty cute. Minds of Their Own is also cute, but I think we just take the Transcendent. And then we're taking Ember, though I really also want draw, whatever. Here we are. Okay, so how much deployment Ember? I have 6. So currently that's enough to do the Zone of Silence and the 2 units I care about. I'm okay, but tired and sore. Got a Charlie horse in my calf that's still super sore. That feels real bad. I mean, obvious statement, but yeah, I don't envy you. I think maybe we go here, because we can pick up another equipment, and we can maybe make a deployable equipment. The problem with making deployable equipment is that it competes with the Zone of Silence, but that's, I think, still okay. Alright, here's the Imperialist, which is helpful. It's not perfect, but it is helpful. I'm probably going overboard by doing this, but here we are. I re-rolled basically only under the hope that we would see Equalizing Rings, because Equalizing Rings is a zero-cost thing. Although I wouldn't have had enough money for it either way, so it's kind of a moot point. Or more specifically, I wouldn't have had enough to buy it and make it deployable. Okay, bit of a problem, but here we are. I think what we're doing is we're going Zone of Silence bottom floor so that I can definitely set up here. And then I for sure have time to generate an imp with Queen and maybe can get some equipment on our good buddy, good pal. Okay, so enjoy. Give me that sweet, delicious, delicious rage. Why not? You can go there, and there, and then they're not going to hurt us because we silenced the room, which is partly why we took this. And then it doesn't fucking matter, we're now using the Horrify. I want those units to die. And so there we go. Yeah. Overall, this is working out well. I do actually have a lot more Ember than it normally looks because my imps cost 0, and then I get more with the 2 uses of the... Keep wanting to say Purifying Cleanse. 100% not at all the name of the card. Important work. Anyways, it ends up working out real good. I may still do this right here just while I have Ember to play it. So, then we just kind of blitz through them and they all die. It would be nice if the important work had Spell Chain on it, but that's not really a necessity. I'll just play that out and kill them. It doesn't matter. We have definitely enough power to win the fight. Also, here's my whole army of imps. Like, it feels a little unnecessary, but it was very much to ensure that I am not whiffing on drawing them fast enough, because it's real important to me that we draw them in time, since that is like all of my damage scaling and I need it badly. I still need to get rid of like the faulty body. There's a lot of things I would like to get rid of, and I have not spent like any effort on removals, sadly. But Our deck is working. That's the main point. We have a lot of redundancy. That's all we care about. Let's actually play you so we can draw an extra card. The Horrify is good. I was hoping to get the Tiresome Climb. Obviously, I don't even know if that's in my pool right now. But... and by that I mean, I don't know if it's in my deck or not. Either way, we're unlikely to see it. Especially since I have so many holdover and endless things now. Not that it matters on this turn. Like, we don't want to use it and move racks off of our kill floor. That would be bad. Either way, the Hydra hits for 1490 like 9 times or something. Maybe only 7 times. I don't know. I wasn't looking closely. I do know it's enough to kill racks right off the bat. Inferno is a no. Tiresome Climb is a maybe. No. Okay, we're going here. Yeah, a yes. Intrinsic is nice. Spell Chain is nicer. I will happily take a Tuned Whetstone, though I'm going to check really quickly how many deployable things I actually have. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we should be fine. I still might remove one of them just to make sure that my count wasn't wrong. And I haven't done the reroll. I don't think we need Consume Crown. We definitely don't give a shit about Capricious Reflection. I will happily take that, and I guess I'll take that. And that does mostly bankrupt me. Maybe get rid of Event, maybe get rid of a Steelworker. I don't know, fuck it, enjoy. And we're already at full, so we're good. Okay, I'm not too worried about this fight. Like, yes, technically the silence is bad for us. It's mostly inconsequential, especially because we also have Zone of Silence if we want. And I think we're just setting up top floor so we have more time to get rolling. Okay, so we didn't play Zone of Silence. That's okay. I don't love that, but okay. And then he's already up to 6 attacks, and even with the sap, he does decent damage. Okay, so there's that, and we get an Imp. And so begins everything. Okay, so, unfortunately your things get blocked. But we still get another 300 damage in rage from that. And our dude is already up to 900 damage per attack, which is not bad. A lot of them are going to get wasted on these meaningless chumps, but, you know, here we are. Unfortunately, I have no way to clear these out quickly. But we are still getting the kill here, because I do a whole lot of damage. I technically should have done this a little differently. Because I could have had one of the imps building up power and just use the important work on the other one. Does not matter. Not actually important. Since he just wipes the floor with them, and if he survived that, we would have killed him with the other units, which also had like 1,000 attack. Ta-da! I am very pleased with the way this deck has gone. It's been a fun pivot into different plans, and it's worked well. And we did not need a number of things we hit, like Ash of the Fallen and Attuned Whetstone were not necessary, but they are helpful, and they are appealing. So I think we set up bottom floor, even though we have to just tank the hits from Savagery. I guess we put that in front just to block. We don't have the room yet, sadly, but it's not wildly important. Unfortunately, you are not helpful. And I can't use this because I don't have an imp to sacrifice, which means we have to wait to draw it again. So that's not good. And then the brute does take a hefty bit of damage, but hey. Okay, which one do I want to dupe? Do I want to do the Pyrelight? I think I want to do the Pyrelight. Except I do also want the Tiresome Climb. And other things. Actually probably should have done the Sanguine Assistant. I don't know. It's fine. We're killing the enemies, we're making it work. The imps are absorbing the corruption and the hit from entropy. Like, overall, it's okay. Unfortunately, well, I guess we're doing that because I don't have the Ember to play the Transcend Imp to. Anyways, don't remember what I was going to say. But it's okay. Although I do need you to be doing less damage here. Kind of. Because, yeah, you are going to murder some dudes in a way that I find rather unacceptable. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to complain about. It's just really that I didn't draw the important work at the right time. Unfortunately, he is killing half my infrastructure here, so I am going to be a lot weaker on the coming turns. But, like, I guess that's just what it is. That's why you need to put the days on him. Yes, kind of. And I thought about that at the time, but it would have also desynced him, and so he'd be lining up with the other enemy waves, which wouldn't have been perfect. But mostly, I think we're still okay. It does make it so the imps cost more Ember to play, which is a problem. Finally, I have his. So they're only Ember neutral now, not Ember positive. Also, they're not dying, but, like, who actually cares? Because, like, he's dead. He's dead. Just waiting on Dominion to die. Like, yes, I am only hitting for 487 instead of, like, 1,000, like I would have been. But also, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're still dazed for several turns, so we'll just ignore you and take less damage. Like, we are still winning this no problem, even with losing a chunk of my power. And there we go. Yeah. Hydra Armed Horror. A bit of a situational unit, but can be very strong. Oh, boy. Ta-da! And we finally mastered Deranged Brute. Still a lot of cards left to go on the mastery front, because I am not making good progress there. I probably do need to start just taking cards for the sake of mastery, but that's fine. It's not an immediate concern. We still have many crowns to go. I mean, we're in the last third now. Like, we have less than 60 to go, but it's still a lot. Still a lot. Anyways, it's a little bit early, but I'm going to stop there because starting another run takes an hour-ish at the speed that I play on stream. So, we are going to stop there for the night because I have other things to do. We'll see how much of them I actually get done, but I should at least attempt to do them. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Have a nice night, everyone. I will be back tomorrow like normal. Hope to see you then. Yeah, have a nice night. Thanks for being here. See you later.